What's going on? It's your man Shem, and this is Shem Goes Global. And as you can tell by the title of today's video, I'll be giving you guys my experience of being an African American in Africa. Now, I'm making this video for you guys that may be thinking about traveling to Africa for the first time. You may just be not knowing, how people may treat you, how to interact with the locals. And, I'm just going to give you guys, my personal experience of being an African American in Africa. So before we get into it, you already know, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And let's go. For this video, I think I'm gonna take it outside. Just look at this beautiful view. Look at this beautiful view. Come on, man. Honestly, this trip has changed my life for the better. And this sun is hot as hell. Golly, I need to go inside. All right, so now that I'm back in the house, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So my reasoning for coming to Africa in the first place was to kind of get a sense of just self. Being an African American, we kind of don't know exactly who we are growing up. It's always this thing, oh, go back to Africa, this. And it's always like an undertone where it's like, all right, I'm African, but where in Africa am I from? Like, I've never been to Africa. I've grown up in America. And it's like, it's a thing where you just feel like an emptiness inside. At least for me, that's how I felt growing up. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to take a trip to Africa and actually see what it's like. And that's what I'm doing now. So that's why I'm giving you my experience. So my experience won't necessarily be your experience, but what I will say is every African American, I am begging you to come to Africa at least one time in your life. So the first thing that I want to touch on is just the personal aspect of it all. So being black, as you can see, I'm black, brown, whatever you want to call it. It's actually a dynamic where it's like everybody looks like you. And that's something that African Americans really have never seen unless you're like in Atlanta or just like one of the black cities in America. If you're in a black city in America, then you could probably see, but at the same time, it's not the same. So if everybody looks like you, then there's no racism. It's classism. Basically the same thing in America, but just reverse, right? So here in Africa, at least from what I've seen, is it's a class thing. It's like African Americans were looked at as higher class, and you get treated as such, which is a nice thing, but at the same time, it's kind of a humbleness that you get, and it's like you could take that back with you. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm taking that back with me when I get to America, because it's like, all right, I see certain people living a certain way in Africa, and I'm like, wow, like other people have it way worse than I could possibly ever think. So next, I want to talk about the way that the Africans treat African Americans. So Africans actually treat us very well. There's smiles on their faces every time. At least I walk by, it's always a smile on their face. It's always, hey brother, what's going on, man? Where you from? Just trying to spark a conversation and try to understand each other. That's what it is. And that's what I've come to realize, that they actually want to know more about us than we possibly imagine. It's more of a thing of, we see you on TV and we see this thug image, but it's like when me personally, like I'm coming and I'm articulating myself and I'm just expressing my viewpoints and stuff, it's like they can relate to that and they like, oh man, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? And then we just leave with a great experience. Also, being here in Africa has showed me how much of an influence that African Americans have. And man, I'm talking about from the way that we dress, from the way we talk, the slang we use, it's all here in Africa. And man, it's really a great thing to see that they embrace us. But at the same time, some things, me personally, I don't, really correlate with, like, hey bro, what's up bro, gang gang. So certain stuff like that is funny, but at the same time, I understand it. It's really just a camaraderie, like, oh, okay, you're American, so we try to see what's up and we try to, basically accommodate you in a way, so it's all good. But sometimes it's funny. I had a few people come up to me like that. So, all right, so next, I want to touch on this one briefly because I actually want to make a full-length video about this, but this is the dating scene in Africa for an African American. Now, I can honestly say it's night and day. It is night and day. I'm talking about with this skin right here, man. You getting chose everywhere you look. You getting looks, smiles, and hey, blah, blah, blah. And I'm talking about you feel like a rock star out here, and I'm not gonna lie. At least for me, that's kind of how I feel out here. And it's a great feeling, you know what I'm saying? I'm black, they're black, and it's just, it's your people at the end of the day. But the dating scene out here is amazing for me, and yeah. And if y'all thought I was playing about that, just look, this is my Tinder right now. I ain't trying to really expose too much of their information, but over 2,000, just about 3,000 now, man. And I only been here a month. The dating scene out here is lit, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But at the same time, she knows she got the key to my heart. You know you got the key to my heart, baby. Hey, like I said, I'll do a full video on that at a later date. So my next topic, I want to talk about the food. So, you know, soul food in America. Now, they don't have soul food out here. They don't know nothing about soul food. They don't know nothing about soul food. You know, they got their jollof, they got their ugali, they got, you know what I'm saying, their chapatis and all that type of stuff. So they don't know anything about the soul food. Now, the food isn't the worst, but it isn't the best too. Now, as an African American, you know I love my seasonings, I love my spices, but they don't really have that out here. A lot of the stuff is bland, but they can work on that. They can work on that. Africans, I love y'all. Y'all can work on that. Get some of that flavor in there, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get it, baby! All right, so this part is for my non-black viewers right now. So you guys will also be treated very well too, whether you're white, Asian, Hispanic. Basically, we're all treated the same, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, come see the safaris. Come, you know, the CBD. You know, just experience the culture of it all. You know, but at the same time, be respectful, man, because these people, they work hard for what they have, and yeah, man, it's all about respect at the end of the day. So my plan wasn't to make this video extremely long, but I will end off by saying this. If you are African American, man, make sure you come and visit Africa at least one time in your life. I know I said it before, but I really, truly mean that. And also, Africa is good for women, it's good for men, it's good for children. But at the same time, I will give you guys a disclaimer. No matter where you go in the world, you can run into anything. You can run into situations that you may not be comfortable with. You can run into things that may go sideways. So I tell you to do your due diligence on where you're traveling to before you come, and you should be fine. But it's your man Sham, and this is Sham Goes Global. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm about to start a Discord. I'll leave the link below, and also I got the Facebook page Sham Goes Global, so check that out as well. And I'm out.